I said I was going to be nosy. And I got too much light on my viewfinder here to be able to tell what I'm getting a picture of. But I know they got roosters. Girls come up for Mother's Day and they slept in the yard in a tent. And they said, you know, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning the roosters was crowing. But I also see ducks. I thought they had geese, and I thought they also had a turkey, but I don't see the turkey. Unless it's over there. But they've got, oh wow, that's a really big white rooster. It's really tall. But they've got a white rooster, they've got, I guess the black ones are hens. Maybe they only got the one well, I think roosters will fight each other. Something. I don't want to get caught being nosy. But you can hear them. Cluck, 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 cluck. Cluck, 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 cluck. Just don't want to get caught. They also have a trampoline. And they've got a pool. I'm being so nosy. They got a lot more trees than we do. But they've got a whole farm going on back here. And I see that they screened in their back porch like I wanted Tim to do with us. It looks like they even put a rail on it. It looks pretty nice. And they got peat gravel around their back where the grass don't grow. And they put peat gravel under this swimming pool. They got one of those inflatable jobbies. It's every bit as big as ours, maybe even bigger. Ain't I nosy? And right there, I'm going to back up. Telephoto. Right there in that corner is where we buried Butler. Tim didn't dig a very deep hole, so he put that piece of platform, that wood over it. Kind of remind us never to go there. Because that would be upsetting to forget where we buried him and then and dig there. That would be, that's a bad thing to see on a video. Kind of morbid. Are you trying to get that blade of grass behind that fence? You know, there's a whole yard full of grass that's within reach. You can go pee on my tree? Pee on the bush? Yeah, he says I have to. It's my job. We planted these boxwoods a long time ago, and Tim says they've grown, and that they used to be just, you know, the size of, I guess, a man's fist. I don't ever remember them being that small. It seems to me they're not growing. But they grow really, really, really slow. And we have this type of boxwood, or this type of little bush, and it's got little round leaves and they're shiny. And then we have this other type here that's got a different kind of leaf, and they're flat. They're not shiny. So for whatever reason, we bought 2 different kinds. We might have bought 3 different kinds. This one down here looks like it's even different. Yep, I think it is. It's darker green. Or it's because it's in the shade. This one and that one over there. And we went to Home Depot and Tim bought a flat. No, we didn't go to Home Depot. We went to a nursery. That's where we got our stone. Patuxent River or whatever it's called. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. And he got some white begonias. And he planted them over there. And then I don't even know what those things are. He got those. And then Tim says this vine that's growing over there is sweet pea. But I wanted this trellis to be covered with really nice, lovely vines. And it's been really hard to find something that would grow back here in this corner. Those look like tomato plants. Don't they? Right there. Must be some kind of flower, but it looks like a tomato plant to me. Can imagine that, unless they come up there wild by themselves. I'm going to go over here and look at the leaves on the tomato plant, see if they look the same. Oh no, they're different. I don't know what it is. Might just be a weed. I have rose moss. Those might be marigolds there. He planted some more of the begonias here, and those red things from when we got the begonias, the same thing. I don't know what they are. There's a little stick down there, but I don't feel like leaning over and looking at it. And then, as you can see, that little tree over there growing, they just sprout up. The seeds land in the flowers. And we find them and we transplant them. And I found a bunch of them and transplanted a bunch of them in here. And this one looks like it's dead. But that's an oak. And I'm not sure that's a tree. I think that might be basil there. And there's a little teeny tiny one there. But this one looks good size. I think the other three are going to survive. They're way too close together and I'll have to transplant them. The only oak that I found that stayed alive was this one right here, and it's grown up in the center of the grass. At least I think that's an oak tree. We took the pond out of the hole and worked on the hole to get the pond to sit in there more level. And I think it used to be low on this side and high on the other. And it's a little bit better. It's more level than it used to be. But when we took it out, Tim pressure sprayed it. And, you know, that was like only a week or so ago. It wasn't that long ago, and there was no algae in there whatsoever. But I also mentioned that the lily pads in there, they looked like they needed to be replanted or at least add some dirt in there. And he did that. And then he put them back in the water, but he didn't set rocks on top of the dirt. So the dirt muddied up the water, and I think that's why the pond is so covered in algae again so quickly. That and a lot of really hot days and a lot of sunshine causes the algae just to burst and grow really fast. Yes, I caught you rolling. How come you're not over in your corner guarding your spot? Huh? You usually sit right over there in that corner where the chain link fence runs into the stockade fence, and he just sits there on lays on his belly with his snout on the ground, waiting for a critter to come out of this corner. He thinks there's a critter living in there. And there could be toads back in there. I hope that's all it is toads, not rats or moles or stuff. I don't see no evidence of moles. What you doing? You getting all dirty? You scratching your back? Is your hair shedding and making you itch? Alright. Bo. I'm out here all by myself. I thought the dogs would come out with me. Tim brought out a bucket of water and the brush. And I said we needed to clean our paving stones in the screen room. Because we had a bird get in here and it fluttered around and crapped all over the place. It looks better. You can kind of see residue. Right there. But it's not nearly as bad as it was. And since the cushions are up like that, he might have even tried to clean those. Here's my aquarium. And as you can see, I got fish in there. Those fish were in the big koi pond with the koi, and I think the koi's had babies. And for whatever reason, they're not orange or black or anything like their parents. Maybe they're born ugly and then they eventually color up with maturity. I don't know. And maybe they're not koi at all. I don't know what they are and where they come from. But we didn't buy them and we didn't put them in there. Anybody know what these fish are? Oh, Bobby. There we go. Maybe if I take a downward shot. Come on. Come over here to the glass. Too much reflection. I'm probably getting a lousy picture. Yeah, it's probably a lousy picture too. Oh well. I have no idea what kind of fish they are. We used to have black mollies, and those aren't black mollies because they have very obvious eyes. They kind of pop out, plus they're black. Then we had fancy tail goldfish, and goldfish lay eggs, as far as I know. I think black mollies have live births. I don't know, yeah, I think they're koi. But all the koi that you buy from the pet stores are supposed to be male. And they supposedly don't sell female kois at all because they don't want you to get a male and a female and raise your own koi. They want you to come into the pet store and buy theirs for a whole bunch of money. You could actually, for a big koi like what's in our pond, you can pay like $500 for them easy. I mean, it's just absolutely insane what kois cost when they're really big. We bought the ones that we have. They started out as, you know, this big, and they cost like $3 or $4 from PetSmart, and now they're eating size. They're like probably a foot long. Ooh. It's hot and humid today. Trying to remember, did it rain yesterday? No, because we went out and got in the pool, but I think it was a little bit overcast. You hear the birds.